Coming up, Iowa City decides on a special election.
We're in a really terrifying time of the not just misinformation, but the kind of disappearing of information.
And a DITV exclusive on how authors and librarians are reacting to Iowa's recent book ban.
Quarterback questions for Hawkeye football.
It's so cold out lately, something's got to change, right? Find out in weather.
All that and more
Coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It's Friday, November 22nd. I'm Marshawn Gunn.
And I'm Dravin Murdy.
And the third member of our team, Jordan Torovar, is live outside the IMU with a look at today's forecast.
Thanks, guys. This weekend is about as warm as it's going to get for the foreseeable future. And if you're going home over fall break, I suggest you grab those winter coats before you come back to Iowa City. Today we'll see hot temps rise to a chilly 40 degrees with lows in the upper 20s at night. Things get just slightly warmer tomorrow, sitting at 44 degrees. The sun might even make a brief appearance in the afternoon. Come back later on for your extended forecast and a look at the weather for Saturday's game for Iowa football versus Maryland. Back to you.
A special election may be called to fill a vacant seat in the Iowa City Council. Councilmember Andrew Dunn plans to resign in January due to his professional obligations. The council is unsure on whether or not a special election will be held instead of appointing a replacement. The decision will not be final until the council votes on the issue. A nominee for
President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet has resigned amid growing controversy. Former Florida House Representative Matt Gaetz dropped out of his appointment as Attorney General yesterday. Gaetz was originally nominated for the position just over a week ago, with Gaetz subsequently resigning from his position in the House of Representatives. Controversy followed Gaetz after two women came forward claiming Gaetz had paid them for sex and an accusation that he had sex with an underage female. Representative Jason Crow from Colorado thinks that the resignation of Gaetz was the right call.
He was nominated not to actually execute the duties of Attorney General, as America would expect that person to do, but rather to be a loyalist and to exact retribution on Donald Trump's perceived enemies.
Not the other way around. By the end of the day, Trump had already selected a new candidate in Pam Bondi, a former Attorney General from Florida. While Gaetz stepped back, Trump continues to announce his cabinet, which includes a former Hawkeye. Matt Whitaker was chosen to become the U.S.'s ambassador to NATO for the next administration. Whitaker had served as the acting attorney general for 4 months under Trump's first administration. The former district attorney of southern Iowa will now have his hands full, as the president-elect said he would not protect NATO countries if they did not meet NATO spending guidelines.
Iowa Supreme Court recently overturned a $97 million malpractice verdict.
DITV's Jake Rios is in the newsroom to tell us about the ruling.
Yeah, Dravin, well, the court recently just overturned a over $97 million case. Delivery instruments allegedly caused brain damage to the newborn back in 2018. In the original trial, plaintiffs released an estimated $42 million for necessary care for the rest of his life, and over $12 million as a result of the medical malpractice and just lost wages. Testimony and imaging revealed that trauma caused by external factors during delivery suggested that timely C-section could have just prevented the injury. The jury awarded $97 million to the plaintiff, which is the largest in state history. However, the insurer MMIC was sued by the clinic for refusing to settle, leading to the case being recently overturned. The Supreme Court has announced a retrial, but date has still not actually been set yet. Back to you guys in studio.
One program at Iowa is going the extra mile to make sure every student is ready for life beyond college. DITV's Ryan Paris has the story.
The UI Reach program is setting students up for success at the next level. Students within UI Reach get the experience of going to a Big Ten school while being prepared to succeed in their academic, career, and campus lives.
They're living away from home, they're living with a roommate that's sleeping right next to them, they're learning how to problem solve, they're learning how to compromise.
In some of their classes, students are learning about everything that goes into cooking, from meal prepping to shopping to putting it all together in the kitchen. They think of meals in class and create shopping lists before going to buy the ingredients later on. Then, they prepare the food either in a cooking lab or at home. UI Reach is a program that's influence extends beyond the classroom.
We are very integrated. We live on the same residence hall floors as other students. Students are taking classes. They can go to anything they want to on the Big Ten campus.
In addition to their course load that is already bigger than that of students outside the program, UI Reach students also have internships in fields like office management, food service, childcare, and more. But this time of year is extra special for the program as some students return home for the first time since arriving on campus.
The person that comes home for fall break is not the same person. They hold their head higher at the Thanksgiving meal dinner. They're more engaged in conversation with the adults.
And a testament to the program's overall success, 92% of students are employed 1 year after graduating and 100% earn above minimum wage. From the Lindquist Center, Ryan Paris, DITV.
Residents of Iowa can now add their driver's license to their phone. Iowa Mobile ID is a new free and secure smartphone app that was announced in early November by the Iowa Department of Transportation. The digital ID will not replace physical identification, but will verify the user's age or identity. The department hopes it will be a convenient option for people to use across the state.
A local Des Moines drink shop had a grand opening in Iowa City. Hyper Energy Bar has branched out to eastern Iowa with their new location in the Penn Mall, located next to Reunion Brewery on College Street. The brand started up around 3 years ago and has 6 Des Moines area drive-thrus. On Wednesday, they opened their first walk-in location. Iowa City is heavily desired, so the owner jumped at the opportunity.
One thing we're really excited about is to be able to see our customers' full reaction of getting the drink and trying the drink. This is our first location where we have people walk into our store instead of a double drive-through. So seeing those reactions is just absolutely amazing.
Their menu ranges from smoothies to handcrafted coffees and infused energy drinks.
Spooky season is not over yet. If you love horror and performances, DITV's Liz Schultz has an event that you could attend this weekend.
The Paranormal Cirque is a paranormal experience for those who enjoy a little touch of horror.
Cirque Italia, the company that hosts Paranormal Cirque, opened in 2018 and has toured all across the world. Paranormal Cirque 2 and 3 were also opened up recently.
We are touring around the entire United States. We're touring around all of Canada. We go a little bit everywhere throughout the year because we got to bring that Halloween magic to everybody no matter where they are.
The shows include acrobats, creatures, horror film characters, and many performances, leaving you on the edge of your seat. The performers come from a diverse group of countries and areas, grouping together their talent and acrobatic abilities for these shows.
It's a worldwide international cast. I think the only way to really have world-class entertainment is to really, sample that from around the world. So we have people here from Senegal and Africa, from around Ukraine, from Belarus. We have people from China. We have people from Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela, from Italy, from all around the world.
Paranormal Cirque will bring in attendees in Coralville for the thrilling acrobatic performances all weekend long, every evening, and then they will head north to Waterloo. The following weekend, a new audience will get the chance to experience and be part of the show. From the Coral Ridge Mall, Liz Schultz, DITV.
A special tradition kicked off the holiday season at Stead Family Children's Hospital last night. DITV News Director Johnny Voltman has what makes the celebration special for the kids.
1, 2, 3, go Nacho!
Because I really wanted to see what was here, and I was very excited because this was my first ever see the trees.
The trees lit up Stead Family Children's Hospital Thursday night, a tradition to get the kids, families, and staff of the hospital in the holiday spirit.
It's a really big impact on our patients and families. It shows that we truly care about them in the hospital, and also it gives them something to look forward to.
Along with the tree lighting was a performance of portions of the Nutcracker by the Notes Dance Academy.
Kids having an opportunity to get out into the community that isn't on a stage is always really lovely, and obviously we're being able to share the Nutcracker with people that might not be able to come to the audience.
The dancers have been working on the Nutcracker since September, and we're thrilled to perform at the hospital.
It's cool to get to perform something here to show the kids something that they might have never seen before.
I think it's really special to just show my love for dance with everybody.
With the tree behind me now, let the performance over. The kids here at Stead Family Children's Hospital are now ready and excited for Christmas. From the University of Iowa, Johnny Valtman, DITV.
Following this ride along on Wednesday, DITV's Assistant News Director, Jace Bertrand, learned how Iowa City Public Library employees are feeling in light of Iowa's recent book bans.
When you think about a bookmobile, it's kind of like a moving target, right? It's great. It's, you know, a way that, you know, bookmobiles bring books to people, you know, where they are. And, you know, we're in a really terrifying time of the not just misinformation, but the kind of disappearing of information, the lack of access to books, you know, determining for people what they can and can't read, and destroying those books, you know, it's horrifying.
You have some patrons who are kind of feeling inspired by the media coverage of this topic, and they're looking to read these books that are getting kind of some commentary, and they're looking to explore these topics that has been of note lately. And so that's been really exciting to see people just really inspired and wanting to learn.
For the very first day they sent me the email, so sure. How many more chances do I have? It'll be on board.
The community loves their bookmobile. I will never probably experience a shift where somebody doesn't tell us they love us and appreciate us. And I recognize that. They love and appreciate the downtown library too. But what we're doing with the bookmobile is meeting people where they're at. We're coming to you in your community and asking you to be a member of your community, to be together and to gather. And I think that that intentionality has a different place in the heart of our patrons, and it's seen and observed a little bit more readily. And so they will often remark on that in ways that you don't see downtown.
Our community is so diverse and has so many different needs and so many different interests, and so I just really love getting to know people, and I'm always learning and learning how to serve everyone in these different unique ways, and it's really joyful for me.
The full, unedited documentary can be viewed on the Daily Iowans YouTube page. And coming up later, a new animal is on the loose.
Along with a Thanksgiving forecast and Hawkeye sports.
We'll be back right after the break.
In Iowa City, history is being made every day. DITV is capturing it all. The future of our nation.
I'm here at Big Grove Brewery, where the Johnson County Democratic Party is hosting
a polling location in Waukesha, Wisconsin, which has been an influential county.
I'm here at Dean Lamar Allen Elementary School in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Historic careers.
Despite the slow start, the Hawkeyes still managed to get their first win of the season.
Night on the West Coast for the Iowa Hawkeyes, not just because of the loss to UCLA. Defensively, they played a full 4 quarters, but offensively, one man continues to put up.
Student experiences.
I'm at the Ped Mall in downtown Iowa City, the center for nightlife. And bars have been
here at the Ped Mall, where Iowa City residents come downtown to celebrate a beloved
here at the Iowa City Animal Care and Adoption Center, where volunteers are working round the clock to get these animals adopted.
Politics, sports, and art. Local, state, and nationwide. In front of the camera, behind the scenes, DITV.
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 DITV Sports.
DITV.
DITV
is capturing history.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in live on thedailyiowan.com or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
Now let's take a look back outside with Jordan, who has the forecast for the week ahead.
You all better enjoy this slightly warmer weather right now, because it's about to get icy, and I'm not talking about this necklace I got on right now. Iowa City sees temps get to a balmy 57 degrees on Sunday, but the sun is still hiding from us. And here's the bad news, guys. Things drop to 38 degrees on Monday for a near 20 degree swing downwards. The rest of the week looks to be much of the same, with temps sitting around the mid-30s. Headed out east to College Park, Maryland for the football game between Iowa and the Maryland Terrapins. Things are looking fairly similar to what we're seeing out here. Tailgate lots open bright and early at 5 a.m. starting at 42 degrees, and things kick off at 11 a.m. with temps at 51 and partly cloudy skies. Those who made the trip out there will see temps in the low 50s after the game for their journey back to the hotel. I'll have some safety travel tips for you as you get set to leave for fall break. Back to you.
Draven, I don't know about you, but I am ready for break.
Me, I'm excited too, Marshawn. But the people who aren't excited are the Iowa Hawkeye athletes, because they got to keep going. And to fill you on all the Hawkeye athletic needs, I'll send it over to DITV's Elise Gann.
Thanks, guys. To start off, we have some unfortunate breaking news this morning. Head coach Jan Jensen announced on Twitter that women's basketball kid captain Christy Bujakowska passed away. Christy was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a bone cancer in her leg, when she was just 10 years old. She served as the kid captain last year at Kinnick's Crossover and was a phenomenal swimmer and chess player. Coach Jensen said, quote, "She fought the good fight and finished her race. She's flying with the Angels now. We love you, Christy. Thank you for your example, forever in my heart." But this weekend, the Hawkeye football team takes a trip out east to battle the Terrapins, and that we know for a fact. However, who is starting in the QB slot is still up in the air. With Brendan Sullivan being announced as out for the rest of the season and Cade recovering from a concussion, the quarterback room is, quote, cloudy.
I assume Jackson going to start. I think we'll start the way we finished. Is probably the best way I can put it. I mean, he finished, right, out in California. So that's kind of where I see it. Yeah, absolutely.
You said Jackson would start, but Cade's on the depth chart. I mean, are you saying Jackson? Do you know who's starting?
If we were playing right now, it'd be Jackson. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what I'll know on Friday. You probably won't, but I will.
Jackson Stratton went 3 for 6 for 28 yards against UCLA. He was on the scout team as a linebacker just a few weeks ago and wasn't even taking reps at quarterback.
Thank goodness we had a bye week and got a chance to get him more comfortable and schooled. And if he ends up being our guy, we'll try to put a plan together. Features what he can do and keep him out of the danger areas maybe, and not have him doing calculus problems out there.
We'll see if it's Jackson on Saturday and if the walk-on can lead the Hawks to a victory. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. on the Big Ten Network. But with the game comes a new kid captain. DITV's Colin Carithers has the inspiring story of Raylan Miller Ramirez.
Raylan Miller Ramirez grew up an extremely active kid, but all this was thrown off when she was around 6 years old. She became unbalanced and was being treated for what they thought was vertigo, but her mom still felt uneasy.
We went to the beach for Raylan's birthday because that's her happy place, and as soon as we walked onto the sand, she just fell over. The doctor came in and did the big, deep sigh and pulled up his pant leg, sat down, and he said, "You're not going home."
That's when Raylan was diagnosed with grade 4 mendoblastoma, a nervous system tumor starting in the brain. She would be rushed to a 7-hour surgery where she would completely lose her vision and develop posterior fossa syndrome, meaning she had to relearn how to walk and talk. That's when the family made the move back from Oregon to Iowa City in the said Family Children's Hospital, where months later, Raylan became victorious.
We knew she was strong enough to handle it. We knew her, willpower and everything was strong enough to handle it, to just be done. And she rang that bell.
Raylan is described as a fighter and is already back to being as active as she used to be.
She didn't want that to be a part of her life anymore. She went to camp this summer. It's called Camp Abilities through the Department for the Blind. And she was running track.
The family now hopes Raylan's story can serve as a message of hope for other families.
It's not just cancer. It's life-changing inspirement to other people that, it's not the end of the world. I mean, gosh, she had to rush the field with Jamari Harris. I mean, what's better than that?
After rushing the field for Kids Day, she hopes the team can bring back a win for her Kid Captain Week. From the University of Iowa, Colin Carithers, DITV Sports.
Beautiful story right there. And the Iowa women's basketball team came out victorious against the Kansas Jayhawks Wednesday night, continuing their undefeated streak. The Hawkeyes and Jayhawks walked into the Sanford Pentagon 4-0, both looking to improve their perfect records, but the Hawkeyes were the ones to get it done. Hannah Stolke recorded her 5th career double-double with 16 points and 10 rebounds, while Lucy Olson racked up 16 points of her own. With this win, Jan Jensen is now the second coach in program history to start off a season 5-0. The Hawkeyes will return home to face Washington State on Sunday. Hawkeye volleyball played their final home game against the second-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers on Wednesday. DITV's Joel Keller was there for senior night.
Just for all our seniors, last time for them to play in this building. They love being Hawkeyes, and they've done a lot when you're building a program, there's a lot of things that go into it, and these seniors have, done us proud. They saw how special it is to be here, and this capped off their career and really helped propel us forward.
Michelle Urquhart, Joy Gallus, and Gracie Gibson all played in their final home game as a Hawkeye Wednesday night.
I'm just proud of everything that I've accomplished, of what my other fellow seniors have accomplished, and just kind of leaving our mark here in this arena.
Urquhart is the only volleyball player to be a Hawkeye for the length of Iowa head coach Jim Barnes' tenure.
I just want to make sure that the little ones know, my little ones I guess, that just to go out there and have fun and just play with your whole heart.
To send those seniors out, the Extreme Arena crowd was a sellout against the #2 ranked team in the country, the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Iowa fans are always great. I know we had a lot of Nebraska fans too, but Iowa fans are amazing. So just knowing that I've left a positive impression on them has meant a lot.
The actual game did not go in the Hawkeyes' favor as Nebraska swept the Hawkeyes. The Hawkeyes couldn't get the upset tonight, but they look to finish the season strong, starting with a game on Saturday at Minnesota. From Extreme Arena, I'm Joel Keller, DITV Sports.
Heading out to LA, the Iowa soccer team is moving on in the NCAA tournament to the round of 32, where they'll face 6th-seeded Georgetown. The Hoyas booted 11th-seeded Fairfield out of the first round with a 3-0 shutout win, while the Hawkeyes took the victory over Missouri State 2-1. If Iowa wins, this will be their 4th NCAA tournament win, their first time making it past the round of 32, and they will tie the record for the most program wins in a season. The Hawkeyes and Hoyas will face off for the first time ever tonight at 6. The Iowa men's basketball team will take on Utah State as a part of the NABC Hall of Fame Classic. The undefeated Hawkeyes will face another unbeaten squad. As the #1 scoring offense in the country, the Aggies are averaging 104 points per game, which will pair nice against Iowa's 141st scoring defense. The game will be available on Big Ten Network at 7 p.m. Hawkeye tennis player Jessica Matthews had an experience like no other over the summer. DITV's Tara Gillespie talked with Matthews about her time at the Wimbledon Championships.
The Hawkeye Tennis Complex is the usual home to Jessica Matthews, but over the summer, she found a new court to practice her skills on.
Sophomore Jessica Matthews returned to her home country of England over the summer to be a hitting partner at the Wimbledon Championships. At the one of 4 Grand Slam events, Jessica became the first female hitting partner and met some of her biggest tennis inspirations.
It's almost empowering just to see that something which would stereotypically be seen as like a male's role of just playing with stronger women and men, that I could do myself, and then that loads of other females could now go into.
One of Jessica's biggest inspirations, Venus Williams, asked Matthews to be her individualized hitting partner.
And she just said that just keep going, keep pushing with the tennis, everything I'm doing as well, and my game still works well, especially for grass, which was really nice to see.
But there's one moment Jessica will never forget, when she had to tell 7-time champ Novak Djokovic to get off the courts.
Yeah, his time was overdue on the court, so we kind of had to walk on slowly, and he still didn't get the gesture. So we ended up actually having to say, excuse me, you got to kind of get off now. But he took it really well. It was really nice.
Not only does Jessica plan to use what she learned in Wimbledon for this upcoming season, but she also plans to go back next summer. From the Hawkeye Tennis Complex, Tara Gillespie, DITV Sports.
And as Thanksgiving break rolls around, University of Iowa students will have the week off, but Hawkeye athletes are still grinding away. After a quiet Monday, Iowa men's basketball will give Hawkeye fans some action as they face USC Upstate in their last non-conference game on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, the volleyball team will escape the cold and fly out to UCLA to face the Bruins, while the women's basketball team will celebrate Thanksgiving in Cancun, Mexico, where they will face Rhode Island. Finally, on Friday, Hawkeye football returns home for their last game of the regular season against Nebraska. There are many games for Hawkeye fans to follow as they take a much-needed and relaxing break. Now I'll send it outside to Jordan with more on the weather.
As you all get set to head home for the fall break or this weekend, here are some tips from the American Red Cross you should know ahead of your trip. They say you should have an emergency preparedness kit for anything that might happen during your travel, and that could be anything from water to a first aid kit. And next is checking the weather before you head out the door to try and avoid any hazardous conditions that may come up on the road. Lastly, if you're traveling a long distance, make frequent stops along the way to make sure you don't get tired out. Have a safe journey home, Hawkeyes, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you for joining us online or listening at KRUI 89.7 FM.
We're here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at dailyiowan.com.
For Jake Rios, I'm Marshawn Gunn.
And for Jordan Tovar and Elise Gann, I'm Dravin Murdy. See you again on December 2nd as we take a break for Thanksgiving.
Happy fall break and Thanksgiving.